Well, this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and this is going to be my take on the Opinel. No, I didn't mispronounce it. I don't believe. From everyone that I've ever met, and this is, of course, a French made in Savoie, France, Carbone, which is carbon steel. It is Opinel. I'm not going to say, I can't enunciate it correctly this, there, or the other. I have hard enough time. As I said, you learn enough languages, you screw up. This is Mrs. Guns, Knives, and Watches thing, which is French. Now, here's my take on the knife. It is made with a birchwood handle, a beechwood, sorry. See, I can't say English right. How the hell am I going to say this right? It's made with a beechwood handle. And there's nothing there, just a beechwood handle, okay? This is a number 8. This is the one that I would actually, if I was going to go out and buy one, that I would get. Now, I live in a high humidity environment. We get more rainfall here than you would get, let's say, in Seattle, Washington. By an extreme amount, we get way more rain, which, believe it or not, makes it really good for farming. In fact, I have some of the best farmland in the entire state of Kentucky, and is the most productive according to the farm agricultural people for the state of Kentucky. Now, so farm work, this, there, or the other. Of course, I moved back after years and years and years, probably almost 38 years, 30-some years, I moved back to the farm which I was raised, and have been getting back into my farming roots, getting back into all that other stuff, So this knife kind of harkens back to that initial beginning of my life. Now, it comes in a lot of different sizes. I'll give you my take on it. My take on it is the number 8, if I was going to start anywhere, would be my perfect knife. Why am I saying that? Well, this knife is only, let's get it zeroed out. It's not coming in correctly. 1.5 ounces, okay? So we have our beechwood handle. We have our locking mechanism, and we all know this because we've seen other people's videos, And then we have our lock that is open. And if you can sit there and understand, mine is very tight. Not the lock here, it's perfect, but it's very tight here just due to the humidity of my environment. Now, the 8 is perfect for a few different reasons. I don't prefer the smaller ones. Why do I not prefer the smaller ones? Just simply because they are a little too small. This hinge, because I live in such a humid environment, of course the wood swells a little bit. Now, I know I could put it on a radiator vent, I could do a lot of other things, and I could dry this out. And then I could soak it in mineral oil or something, and then basically infuse the wood with the oil and then keep it from swelling again. I like mine a little tight because even though it has really super good retention, even though it still has this lock, which locks it closed, but I prefer not to use it. This knife, believe it or not, I don't use the locks really in either direction. Why do I prefer the 8? Because I really use this for really what it's for. It's a general purpose knife, and this is the one that I'd never use, but this is the one that looks best on camera. These are $12 knives. I use it for food prep. I use it for this, there, or the other. I use the carbon steel instead of the stainless steel because I can just get a sharper edge. It's a full flat grind, and if you can sit there and see, I've got a nice little edge on it that's polished really well. If I can get it to kind of, it's really small though. And I've done that at a 30-degree grind, which is 15 degrees per side. Is that a little, probably steep? Yeah. But this thing is hair-raising sharp. I'm not going to shave my arms because I really like my hair on my arms. Just show you, and this, there, the other. But This is really where I would go. $12 for a number 8 is really, and that should be shipped to you. I mean, that's what Amazon sells this thing for. You can buy it probably for cheaper prices. If you walk into a store, they may have them cheaper, It just depends. But 12 should be the higher end of where you're seeing this knife, and that should be a shipped price. Because I live in such a high humid environment, the 8 is perfect because it has a 3¼ inch blade, and you're trying to protect this hinge right here. As I said, I live in that humid environment. So if I'm using this for food prep, number one, it's got a handle that fits in my hand. If I'm using it as, for slicing, this, there, or the other. But I'm always trying to keep everything out of this joint right here, where this hinge mechanism is, because I am trying to basically keep this wood from expanding. So I have to basically treat it as though it's alive, because even though the wood is dead, because it has been pulled out, heat, dried, this, there, the other, formed into this, it still behaves as though it was alive as far as the expansion and contraction of the wood. So I don't like food or anything else getting in that joint, making it stiff, making it swell, making it corrode, making it anything else. Because remember, this is a carbon steel knife. It is extremely sharp, it is extremely easy to sharpen, and is extremely useful. But you have to understand the limitations of the knife. You have to understand all of this. That's why I don't like the smaller ones. The smaller ones are great for cutting string or for cutting this or for cutting that. But once I get into food prep, this is 3¼ inch knife blade. Is about as short as I really like. And because it has that hinge mechanism that is susceptible to expansion and contraction, the 3¼ really, to me, is the low end of the spectrum. The big ones, higher than 8, it goes 9, 10, 11, 12, and then they've got some ones that you can buy for display purposes. Those, to me, honestly, are just become a problem, because what happens is, you have a longer blade, which means you're in a longer handle and a bigger handle, which you can put more force on that. And as long as you understand the limitations of it, longer handles, longer this, that, or the other, gives you more force on that. And I know the larger ones are larger in every dimension, and you've got that steel liner right there, and you've got that, and you got this, and But still, 8 is perfect. I can put it in my pocket, I can carry it around, it keeps this hinge away from food when I'm cutting it. 3¼ inches is just ideal. 1.5 ounces, $12 shipped to you. I don't know that you can do it any better. Now, of course, they have the nicer ones, and I've had those, and I've shipped those back, and I have done quite a few things, and in the end of the day, I've had the stainless steel, which are great knives, and in wet environments or with food prep, they work really well, but you're still limited by this wood. So the carbon makes me take care of the wood. So both things remind me, it's not like, well, I got a stainless steel knife, so I can just beat the hell out of it and do whatever to it, and it don't matter no boy. But the carbon and the wood actually go together, and it makes my mind work together. I don't like things that don't fit. I've also had the luxury or the luxe versions, with I've had different types of wood and stainless steel polished with really nice, really good knives for about $22 and so much. And they make oak versions and they make maple. You are only limited by your own imagination, but the one that's perfect for me, that brings back the nostalgia of the past and brings back that I am on the farm environment and is a really good knife that can do a tremendous amount of things as long as you understand its limitations, is this Opinel Carbon Steel number 8. And I wish I could like any of the other ones, but this is just the one that fits my hand. As I said, I wear a large or number 10. I can't wear all large gloves. Sometimes I have to buy an extra large. I need to throw that into a video every so often, just because, so that I'm being honest, because I'm on the larger side of the large spectrum. But that's just the way it is. And this is Guns, Knives, and Watches, and my take on the Opinel. I just said it like everybody else. Opinel. Made in Savoie, France, carbon steel, number 8. And this would be, out of all of them, this is my choice. It's Guns, Knives, and Watches, and have a good one.